right, we're doing the bow today, and we're going to use a raised satin stitch. How's your fingers today? They're so numb. They hurt so bad at the very tips of them. But it'll be fine. Don't worry. I really want like a nice cream color bow, but I think I used the cream color that I had. That's kind of yucky. On the other one, I think I'm going to use this light pink then. It's like almost white, but it's light pink. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the raised part first, and then we're going to do our satin stitch over top of it. Okay? So, just zoom in here, because I need to do a little drawing or a little explanation to tell you how to do it. All right? So for me, my raised parts are going to be here, that part, the middle, and then the bottom and the bottom. I'm just going to do a really easy like whipped back stitch or a stem stitch for these bits here. I'm not going to do the whole bow, if you know what I mean. So when we do the raised satin stitch, what we're going to do is we need to put threads underneath first as like a bottom layer, okay? And then we're going to put our satin stitches on top of that, and we want them to lay across like this. All right? And the reason is because if we put a layer like this and we put another layer like this, they're just going to kind of sink into each other like that. All right? And we don't want that. We want them to be like an actual like elevated layer. So the first thing you need to do is figure out which way you want your top satin stitch to lay. So for me, I'm thinking for these ones here, I think I'm going to have it be like this. Yeah? And then the under part, obviously, will be the other way. Okay? Because I want my top ones to be nice and smooth going that way. And then these here, I think they're going to be on an angle. So if I put them on an angle, really, you can put them anyway. You know what I mean? So I put them kind of like that. Go like on an angle like that. I can put the other ones like that. A couple rows going kind of sideways-ish. So let's get started. I'm going to do all 6 strands for my under. Let me find my nice thick needle. And then for the top, I might do 3 or I might do 4. Let me just find my scissors. They're in the box still. Okay, for under stitching, some people like to do like a seed stitch. I like to do a chain stitch because it gives a really nice, thick, kind of padded satin stitch. Padding for your satin stitch is what I wanted to say. So there we go. You can do a regular chain stitch, so like this one down the middle, or you can do a detached chain stitch like these here. And if you do the detached one, you can put them kind of in like a bit more random places. So if you've got like a really small area, like down here at the bottom, you can like really kind of get in there with that. So there you go. I missed all that. My husband rang. Oh no. So we're doing a padded satin stitch or a raised satin stitch. And we're just going to do a chain stitch underneath. So let's do this one right here. Will be really, really easy. All 6 strands here for the padding. And these stitches, they don't matter because we're going to cover them up completely. So if you're like, oh my gosh, they're not perfect, like, don't worry. Some people just do a satin stitch, but the other direction. But I find that I like to do a chain stitch underneath mine. It gives like a really nice padding for underneath of it. David's meant to run for 2 hours tonight. So I have a feeling he's not going to do that. Because if you can hear, it's absolutely pouring down rain. So just going back down the other way. because remember I said I wanted my top satin stitch to go the other way. Okay, so I'll probably end up doing like half of this bow, like this half, and then you guys can do the other half by yourself because it will be the same, you know. What else? I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same for every single bow. Let me just go look. I have all the papers right here. Like, they're all going to be the same. So that's a skinny one, okay? You can do a little outline if you want. I'm going to show you how to do that later. That's another one. That's another one. Again, padded satin stitch. And there's the other one, padded satin stitch. So it's going to work on all of them. So please don't say like, oh, I don't know about mine. It will, I promise. Okay. I'll probably go sideways for this one. So let's just do kind of one in the middle. Our last house had skylights, 3 of them. It was so nice. The light was so beautiful. That's the one thing I do not like about this house, is that there's not really, like, I could do stitching any time of day as long as there was sun, because it was always like nice and bright. I could film at any time. In this house, like, no. It's like a dark cave all the time. Okay, let's just see if we can do a chain stitch. Maybe just like 2 layers of chain stitch. I know I said this way at first, but I'm thinking if we just follow along here really quickly. And remember, these do not have to be perfect. We're going to cover up all of them. Like, you should not be able to see any of these when you do your top satin stitching, okay? Okay, let's see about this. Might have to do another one down the middle. Goodness, you're getting everything tonight. You're getting the rain, the music, the angry, like, frantic, aggressive needle punches, because I'm trying to do this quite quickly. Okay. I'm going to try like that. I think it'll be good. I have to seize. Oh dear. Okay. I'm going to change to like 4 strands, only because I think that all 6 is going to be a little bit too much. When I was talking to you about satin stitching, sometimes if you do a little bit less, thank you. If you do a couple strands less than you kind of really want to, you can really put your stitches in the exact place that you want. But also, if you mess up, you can like fix it really easy without it looking too like bulky. And I'm saying that it's meant to be a padded satin stitch or a raised satin stitch, so really if it gets too bulky, it's fine. But you want it to still look smooth. You don't want it to look like, oh my goodness, I've messed up like a bunch of times right here, you know? So kind of like a fine line between those two. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to start my satin stitch, and I'm going to really follow the lines. Okay, so that's the outline of the bow. just pay really close attention to this, okay, this outline, because I'm not going to actually do, well, the whole point was to not do an outline on this part. It was to just do the outline on the other part, you know? But I'll show you how to do an outline anyways, if you really want to. A different day. So all we're doing is coming up on one side and going down on the other, following the line that I made when I traced the bow. That's literally all I'm doing. So this is just a regular parallel satin stitch like we did on like the very first day, way back when. And you'll be able to kind of compare the two and see how this is like so much more kind of popped off. I know I said before that I was going to show an outline, and I will show an outline. And then I said, well, we're not really going to do an outline. It's just that for this bow, I said at the beginning, I was going to do the padded part here and there, and then just outline that part. But then I said I would show you how to do an outline for the whole thing if you really wanted me to. So I just didn't want you to get confused. If you were like, are we outlining or are we not outlining? I don't know. But I promise you I will show you. And then I'm going to do the middle of the bow horizontal. But let me just turn it to the side so you can kind of see what I mean by it be off. It will be off the fabric. It's quite padded, yeah? Whereas the other satin stitch that we did is really, really close to the fabric. Can you see? Oh dear. That sneeze, man. The sneeze got my nose. Okay, and then we're gonna go sideways like this. So horizontal. Ew. Oh my goodness, I'm getting sick, aren't I? Oh, I definitely am. I just felt it just then. First the sneezes and then the cough. It's coming. It's coming for me. I don't like that middle bit right there. I need to do like one more stitch maybe. Just fix that. That's a bit better. I can thank school for that, right? It'll be nursery. Like, thank you very much. Oh, they just bring home just the fun, like the most fun stuff, huh? And poor Ellis has had a runny nose for like I don't know, since Christmas, I think. It feels like it's gonna go away, and then like we see someone else or like someone else's kids, and then we just get it back. It's like, no, we're trying to get over this. So what can you do? You can't just be like, we're not gonna go and see anyone ever again, you know? I actually need like a cloth. Oh goodness. Perpetual, 100%. We're building immunity, right? Or something. What do people say? So there we go. This is what we're doing all the way down. And then just pay attention to these kind of bottom tail parts when you do those. Making sure that you get the lines lined up. Yeah? So there we go. I'm actually running out of thread. Ha! But this will be a good place to stop because the next time I can show you some different stitches to outline. And then also I can do an outline for that little bit there. Yeah? So how nice does that look? And it's nice and kind of up off the fabric like that too. I really like it. So there you go. It's the padded satin stitch or the raised satin stitch. I've seen it called both of those before. And the raised or padding part, it just depends on what stitch you prefer. Some people like just a seed stitch underneath, but I don't think that gives enough padding to like really lift it up, if you know what I mean. So you're going to do both sides. If you want to do the middle, you could do that as well and then outline all of it. It just depends on what you like. So there you are. That's going to look so pretty, isn't it? So we've got Thursday, Friday, and then we have next week. Next week will be one day for details. We've got one day for French knots, and then the very, very last day. So we've really only got like 4 more days of actual stitches, okay? So we are going to be adding more. So, yeah, try and make sure you're caught up if you aren't, because it'll be really easy to see what we add, you know, next time. So there we go. That's all we've got. I hope you have a lovely, lovely evening, and I'll speak with you tomorrow. Bye.